Hello everyone, thanks for joining me again today. Today we are going to do a real quick little seahorse here. I've pre-sketched this out for you and I am just going to wet it down, starting with the wet on wet technique, and I'm just making sure that there's a nice sheen on my paper with the water, and then I will add color to it. I'm starting here with a nice ultramarine blue, and I'm skipping some areas for highlights, and I'm kind of just letting the water pull the color through the areas that are wet. Adding in a little bit of Cobalt Teal blue at this point. Just doing a little blending. And I'm getting my smaller round brush here for a little bit of the smaller areas that I've got drawn in, and I'm laying down some water and it's pulling some of the color that's already down on the seahorse. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in here as well. So basically this part of the seahorse is I'm doing the wet on dry technique for these fine areas of little spiky things on his head and back. Don't really know what they're called, sorry. Now my brush is wet when I'm grabbing this color, so again, like I said, it's wet on dry. And the part of the body that I've already painted is still damp, so it's blending nicely when I touch the two areas together. I'm just adding a little water here on these edges so that I can get the same blending technique in, because it has started to dry here. And now I'm grabbing some color and it's going to blend in nicely with the remainder of the color on the tail of this little seahorse. You notice I'm not making solid lines around the body and the tail, because in real life they have texture to their bodies, and that's what I'm trying to replicate here, so it doesn't look so flat. Now I've drawn in his little fin and I'm just adding some water here, skipping some areas for highlight. And I'm adding some more of that Cobalt Teal. And again, you can choose to do whichever colors you prefer. Experiment with lots of different colors. I mean, you can make this more natural looking and do browns. I kind of wanted to give it a little color, so make it a little different. And a little whimsical is the word I'm looking for, I guess. So we got a little whimsical seahorse here. I suppose seahorses might come in a variety of different colors. So I'm just wetting the edges of his face and around the eye here so that I can add some more color. And I'm grabbing some of that ultramarine blue. Here I'm just pulling in some of that color and softening things around the edges. Again, adding a little water to soften things up, and then grabbing some more color. Starting to give him a little more texture. And now with the Cobalt Teal, I'm going to add some more color to him. I want him to be a little more bright and vibrant, and so I'm also going to add some more of the Ultramarine blue. The two colors really blend nicely together, by the way. Now that I've let that dry, I'm going to now use my Filbert brush, and I'm going to take away some of the color to give some highlights to the body texture. In real life, there are these lines through a seahorse, through his body, so I'm just pulling away the color so they show up better. Now, I could have chosen to take a dark color and drawn these lines in with the dark color. As you see, I've got some of the dark color with color, some of the dark color for the lines as well, but now I'm also giving it more dimension by taking away some of the color. I don't put a lot of water on the edge of my brush, but I'm cleaning it as I go, and when I put water on it, I'm tapping my cloth to remove some of the excess water so that I'm not putting a pool of water on where I'm trying to take away color, because then it will just spread and you won't get a defined line. Giving a little highlight at the top of the head. Cleaning up a little spot here. And now I'm going to take away some color on the fin as well, blending it a little better. You see, I've added some dimension on the belly too, so it's not a solid line. I gave it a little points where the lines would end up. black color by using my, it's like a brick red, but with some of my gray tint and some indigo blue. Leaving a little highlight for the light that would be reflecting from above in his eye, and drawing in his eyelids and touching up the nose area. And now I'm going to take some more of that blue and just define the fins a little more. Some of the lines here with that blue as well. Again, this is adding shadowing, so it's kind of giving him a more 3D effect. See how adding that darker color just lightly around the different areas is making him look more 3D. Adding a lot of character to this little guy. Now I'm working on a cold pressed paper here. To add some blending here with some water on my really soft round brush. Okay, now we're just going to add some color around him. Give the overall composition a little more interest. I mean, you can choose to just leave him finished at this point, but I'm going to add a little color around him for shadowing and for interest for the overall painting. So right now I'm just laying down water. And I am actually going around the edges of the seahorse so that it meets with the seahorse, but not going into the color of the seahorse, just to the very edge. And now I'm going to add some ultramarine, kind of just lightly blending it around. Here I'm working on dry paper, so I'm just kind of bringing it up into the dry from the wet area. And here I'm adding more of that cobalt teal, just a really light layer. And some more ultramarine. Sticking with the colors that I've got in the seahorse. itself, just adding more interest to the painting. Thank you guys for joining me again, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Keep painting.